We spent the weekend feeling the remnants of Hurricane Ian, but dealing with some rain is nothing compared to what they're going through in South Florida.
Yeah, dozens of deaths, and they're trying to clean up from the devastation. Hundreds and hundreds of damaged and destroyed homes. Pumping up floodwaters, shoveling out mud. Now, even if a home is still structurally sound, residents have to worry about mold. So back with us this morning is Josett Valdez. She is the CEO of the South Florida Red Cross. Now, last week we spoke with her when she was just on her way to Ground Zero, which is in Lee County, and now she is actually there. Good morning.
Josett, welcome. Tell us exactly where you are now, by the way, and just what you're seeing.
Yes, good morning. So this morning I've reported into the Red Cross office in Fort Myers and have been here since I talked to you guys the other day. I've had an opportunity to travel through Fort Myers. I was on Fort Myers Beach yesterday meeting with folks who are still in their homes and living down on the beach. And, you know, we brought in some water and some snacks, and really we just brought comfort and sat and listened to them. We have folks up in Cape Coral, Harlem Heights. We have Red Cross workers all over Lee County. We have about 1,400 volunteers working around the clock in places to provide comfort and care to those who need it.
Now, last time we spoke with you, I was saying, like, it must be kind of a helpless feeling, and where do you begin? But what have you been able to achieve since you've been there on Friday?
You know, it is going to be a lot of work. I think you've heard every official say this is going to be a long term for days, months, and we look at the coming year. So we know that emergency Red Cross shelters have housed over 3,400 people in them. Mm-hmm. We've provided 41,000 meals and snacks to people in need. Wow. And that's really where we start. We start with those basic needs, getting them water, getting them food. If they need help, we help identify the closest shelter to them.
Now, Ian is being called the biggest natural disaster in Florida state history. I mean, how does this damage you're seeing now compare to previous hurricanes that you've been through?
You know, it is pretty bad. I will say it's nothing like I've seen before. I believe I've heard people refer to it as Hurricane Michael times 4.
Wow.
So what we're seeing is the community that's going to rebuild, and the Floridian folks are resilient, and I know they will.
What's the biggest need right now?
You know, I think the biggest need is making sure people have shelter, food, and a hot meal. And so we want people to know that they can go to a Red Cross shelter to get refuge from the heat. You know, Florida's hot and humid right now. Mm. They can get water and they can get a hot meal at a Red Cross shelter. They can charge their phone. Most of Lee County is in the process of restoring electricity, but we're still seeing places that don't. And then we're still making a call for volunteers. As I said, this is going to be a long process, and we're going to be there as long as we're needed.
What about stores? I mean, are any stores even open for food or supplies? And of course, for your generators, you're definitely going to need gas. I mean, are the gas stations even open?
There are some that are open. I know the county and the state have generators set up in some of those critical infrastructure places to help residents get gas. Gas lines are long, but it is coming in. I haven't seen a whole lot of stores open simply because, you know, the key is to really put the power and the water in the places like the hospitals and ensure the safety of those who have special needs to make sure that they have medication, dialysis machines, things like that.
Yeah, and I know the roads and the bridges, some of them still down. Are there still issues with the help getting to the people that need it the most?
You know, the road situation is ever changing. The Red Cross has been able to navigate different roads, and, you know, it's taken people longer than expected, but help's coming in.
What are you hearing about the time that it might take to get most of the power restored? That's got to be a big problem right now.
You know, Florida Power and Light is on top of it, and I am not staying up on top of what that timeline looks like. As you know, the Red Cross is really just focusing on getting people those basic human needs so that they can start their road to recovery.
Yeah, last time we spoke, you talked about the resilience of Floridians. But But when you look at all this damage, it is so overwhelming. What's been their attitude right now, dealing with all of this?
You know, they have been kind and wonderful and said, we will come back. I walked into a shelter the other day and met a gentleman named Earl, and he said, Red Cross is here. That means hope is on the way.
Oh.
And, you know, he's like, the light just walked in. And so, you know, I think that speaks to how Floridians are. They will be back. And for many, this isn't their first one, and they'll rise again.
Wow, that's inspiring.
As you said, for many of them, it's good to see the Red Cross down there with boots on the ground. How long do you anticipate being down there now that you can see what the damage is like?
The Red Cross will be here as long as we are needed. For many of us, this is home. This is where we have volunteers and employees, and we are here for the long haul. And organizationally, we are committed to support this community as long as they have a need.
Yeah, Josett, such great work that you're doing. Thank you for all that you do and all that the Red Cross does. We appreciate your time this morning, too.
Thank you. And I would just ask for those who are interested or have the ability to support, if they could visit redcross.org or text Ian to 90999.
All right. Stay safe out there. We appreciate your time again.
Still doing
Thank you
good
so
work.
much.
All right.